Hello, lovely learneds. Welcome back to ALifeLearned. So I didn't really want to record this video, specifically because I'm not doing too well, as you can see, with the face. And then I thought, you know what, this is a good time to do specifically a vlog about this subject, because you can see the effects of the condition. So, for those who aren't aware, dermatillomania is basically obsessive picking at yourself. It is an anxious response to various mental health issues. And it has been one of the symptoms I've had for a long time, like most of my life, because I watched my mom pick at herself ever since I can remember. And so, like many of us, it began as a habit from picking at my zits, because I really don't like when they get infected and very white, and so I will always pop them, even though that creates scars and it's not wise. It's not good for your skin. And so that's what this is actually. This was a zit that was very stubborn and I just wouldn't stop, and I should have. And this was just like, sometimes when I drink or when I have freezies, I just get like a little bit of soreness on the corners of my lips. I don't know if it's an actual canker or like what it is. Started getting that after going to Fiji because I stupidly. Okay, so they have. It's a side note. In Fiji, they have kava ceremonies where they have these little half coconuts that they fill with kava, and then they hand it around to everybody, and everybody drinks out of the same kava cup. And I don't know why, but I never thought the first time I went about how really not good that can be. Like how you can get things, you can get things from people doing that. Didn't even think because it was just such a new thing. But anyway, so yeah, maybe it is cankers. Anyhow, it only ever happens when I have freezies or when I drink sometimes. So I was drinking, got a little bit of a soreness there, and then I think there was also a zit. I can't remember honestly because it was like a month ago that this one started, and I just kept. I couldn't stop myself from continuing to pick at the scab and pick at the scab and pick at the scab. So now I have this red mark that is still dry skin, and I'm still having a hard time not picking at it. But I'm trying to stop because I hate the way it looks. And it just like that's the way the skin responds when you pick at it too much. Like it takes a really long time to turn back to your regular color because you're traumatizing it. I have a scab in just inside my nose. I'm actually quite embarrassed to admit this, but I don't even remember how I got it. But I have been picking it for like the entire summer. I just can't seem to let it heal. And I keep telling myself to stop, and then I just find myself picking at it again. And then I'll share a photo with you guys that I took a couple days ago with my legs, with what I did to my legs. Because so my anxiety has been really bad lately, and because of my depression has also been bad. And I've been trying to manage and, you know, health things, etc. So I don't, okay, if anybody remembers, I have a condition called pharmacophobia where I struggle with the side effects of, and how I feel about the side effects of medications. And so I really, like, the symptoms and the fears that I experience with that are triggered really hard when I think about the idea of taking more than one psychosomatic drug at a time. So I switched from anti-anxiety to like a more depression-focused medication, or at least that's what they told me last year, and I've been focusing on that, if you guys remember from a video I put out recently. But my anxiety's been getting really bad, and so like I've been thinking maybe I should look into medicating it, but at the same time then that starts triggering the pharmacophobia and the terror and the fear. So I don't really know quite what to do about it. I'm trying to focus on like relaxation and keeping myself calm, but a lot of times this anxiety is related with my PTSD, and so it's not something that's super conscious. It's just there humming in the back constantly and coming out in ways like this, Dermatillomania. I'm gonna link or put a like card up to share an old vlog I did about trichotillomania, which is pulling of the hair, which I thought I had because I had a really terrible habit of tweezing at my eyebrows. As you can see, they're very thin because I still have a bit of a thing of picking at them, but I used to like, my eyebrow only used to go to about here, and then like the rest was just missing because I would pick at it so bad. And I couldn't shape them properly because I just kept tweezing them too much. And I thought that meant that I had trichotillomania, but I don't pick at my hair. I don't really pick at anywhere that I have hair elsewhere on my body too much, like other than, you know, average shaving and tweezing of the average female who succumbs to toxic femininity bullshit or feels like shaving, whatever. But my point is, what I was trying to say is someone made a comment in that video that was like, what you're describing doesn't really sound like trichotillomania because it's just your eyebrows that you struggle with. It sounds like much more you're dealing with dermatillomania. And I did some research and I was like, oh, you're right. Oh yeah, that's definitely it. And I just never really did a follow-up vlog. So I thought I would, considering the gorgeous results that I got going on here because of it. And it's this is probably the worst I've ever had it, especially with that photo of my legs. That, by the way, was because I had a lot of ingrown hairs and they were really bugging me, and then I just got carried away because anxiety. So if you can relate, please do feel free to comment below. If you have any suggestions on coping mechanisms, like, you know, I know keeping your hands busy and stuff like that, it's just like, for me, it's always like when I'm staring in the mirror that I get going at it, right? So my hands are quite available. Or it can be sometimes when I'm sitting on the toilet that I'll like pick at my legs, right? So it's like, because I think it's kind of gross to just play with your phone when you're on the toilet. So, you know, my hands are free. And I do have a book, but I don't always like to just like read it in the little brief times that I'm on the toilet, I guess. I like to sit for longer periods of time to read. So I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please do share below. If you can relate, like, by all means, let me know. Because this is definitely one of the conditions that I deal with that I have a lot of embarrassment and shame over. And like, I know we shouldn't feel embarrassed or ashamed of it. But it's there, you know, it's ugly. I don't go outside feeling good about my appearance right now. So, yeah. Just another side effect of having complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and, you know, mental health issues in general. Doing that whole awareness thing, I guess, you know. So, yeah, if you can relate, I'd love to hear. And otherwise, please do join me again next week or sometime soon where I try again to share a little something I've learned or experienced in life.